Kasalelian Rananim. I'm from Pohnpei and Chuk, and I work for the International Organization for Migration, and I help run our climate change adaptation and disaster preparedness education program in some of the outer islands of Micronesia. I love what I do, and I do it because it's an issue that faces my people. Micronesians need to be aware of climate change, and our livelihoods are tied to our environment. Climate change threatens that livelihood. I come from a family of farmers and fishermen, and when we go out into the villages and the schools and we talk about climate change and we do climate change awareness, sometimes, or most of the time, it's the first time they're hearing about climate change. It's one of those situations where you're finally putting a name to a face. They see the impacts, they're noticing the slight changes that's happening, but they're not really sure why. And that's kind of what the program does. Because climate change and the issues we face and teach about, it's an environmental one, of course, but it's also about economics. It's about food security. It's about public health. But more so, it's about our futures. It's about our livelihoods, and it's about our land. It's about our culture. When I think about it in the long term, I think about my son. I have an 8-month-old baby. I'm a new mom, so I look at him when I do my work. I look at the kids that I teach, and I look at my grandparents, my granduncles. They tell us the stories of what it used to be like and what they've seen and witnessed throughout their lives. And I want my son to be able to grow up in the same kind of islands that they were able to. Some of the impacts that we aim for, that our goals are seeing people become more aware, become more conservative with our resources, and learn how to adapt. Climate change and all the issues that we face are not something that we can just solve overnight. So instead of ending it right then and there, we have to learn how to adapt. And we have to be more educated because, it's a problem that affects us, but, we don't have many of our own people on the front line. So if we're not going to stand up for ourselves, who will? I think it's really valuable for, those of us around the region that are in this field to come together. And I hope to learn about, what the challenges that they face in their respective islands and homes and how they meet those challenges, because I think we have a lot of common ground around the region.